Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Jeremiah. Hi.
That's it. That's all we really need, right?
How you doing? I'm trying to quietly move my microphone.
I noticed. That's why I gave you a moment. I actually was pausing. I was waiting to see what was going to happen.
No. It's a very gentle move of the microphone. But these babies are sensitive, so sometimes, sometimes when you move them, they make a lot of noise. So I apologize if you heard some shuffling, rough rustling sounds there. But folks, welcome to the Lost at Home podcast, episode 224. Boy, that's an awfully even number, so it's not prime, but just what is its prime factorization? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. That's 2 to the 5th times 7, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, we're not a math podcast or a numbers podcast at all. What are we, Scott?
We are a show that dives into the weird stories from the dark corners of the internet, and then we bring them to the surface, we talk about them, and what we do is we try to spin them into new content, like TV show ideas, movie ideas. We're pretty sure in about 5 years, we're going to see all these great motion pictures, TV shows, web series, stolen from us.
Which, I mean, sort of stolen. This is almost like an idea goodwill. A lot of the stuff
this
that ends up...
This is copywriting by speaking into a mic and having it be recorded. So we're basically banking on retiring on this podcast based on other people stealing the amazing content that we're delivering.
So we're gonna come after you with all our power of law. But every once in a while, we actually produce some content from the ideas, and sometimes just random bits and pieces. And sometimes we put them on the show, but a lot of times they end up on our Patreon page. Patreon shout out. Patreon.com/Lost at Home.
Yeah, that thing I was just about to say.
And actually, I've got a couple of. First of all, there's a couple of things in the works for the Patreon page for those of you that already subscribe. For those of you who don't, you're going to be missing out on some cool stuff. I've got a couple of. They're not empty promises. They're some ideas I had for content already.
Jer's hit sitcom. Well, it hasn't been heard yet, but it's going to be a hit. Jer's Sunday School Masturbatorium.
Yep, that's right. That's where it's sort of like a Sacha Baron Cohen-esque show. Not really, I guess. It's like more of hidden camera style, where I go into Sunday schools, I masturbate, and try not to get arrested. And
you wear different disguises.
Yeah, usually priest, and people are like, "Oh, just let him have it." Father Whack-em-Off is fucking doing it again. It's crazy how many priests named Whack-em-Off there are in the Catholic Church.
Then you have your spin-off of that, Father Whack-em-Off's Creme Fraiche Hour, where he teaches cooking to underage youths.
Using my semen.
Yeah.
But they don't know that till they eat the cake, and then I show them the video of me jerking off into it. It's always a cake.
Also illegal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of what I'm doing is questionable on the legal front, and by that I mean grossly illegal. But yeah, we're going to produce some content here and there, and I've got a couple of new pieces in the works and stuff that's going to come from today's show that I thought about that even Scott doesn't necessarily know. But I'm going to brainstorm with you on the show.
I'm left in the dark a lot.
Yes. Sorry I left you in the dark.
I sleep in a closet.
Yeah. Well,
it's a bedroom, but because it has a door and I keep my clothes in it, I call it a closet.
You're like, I have a walk-in closet.
There's no light.
That's fancy. And then you go,
there's no light.
In your bedroom?
No, it's gone. It's a closet that's dark because it holds my clothes and I sleep in it, and it has a door.
Oh, there's no windows?
There are windows, but there's no light.
So you have a closet with windows, a broken light, and you call it a closet, not a bedroom.
It's a closet.
So where's your bedroom? You don't have one?
I sleep in the closet. That's my bedroom.
Okay. Oh, so you do have a bedroom. Okay. We also have a montage trivia we haven't actually gotten around to record yet, but it's all written. We need to find a time to do that. That's going to end up on Patreon as well. So anyway, that's what we do. We do fun stuff like that, and then we do story things.
Hey, earlier today, a funny thing happened to me.
Oh, that's cool. We should write about it.
I was driving here to record, and a guy was walking on the crosswalk. He was walking really, really slow.
Cool.
He was about 45.
Wow.
And he had a puka necklace on.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And I couldn't let go of the puka necklace.
No?
I just couldn't.
Well, you literally got out of the car and held onto it?
I wanted to. I wanted to take it from him and said, thank you. Yep. I've always wanted one of these because I want to look like a douchebag.
Yep, you say, this is how it's done. Yes. And you put it on, and you become puka buddies.
So that's what happened to me today, Jer. How about you?
I came back from Fenway, and I was a little tired because I stayed up all night drinking.
Did you see a baseball game?
I did. I saw a baseball game. I saw the Phillies and interleague play against the Red Sox, and it was a 13-inning game. It was really long, but it was really good.
My favorite Pornhub subgenre.
13
Interleague.
Oh, interleague. Yeah, interleague.
I love that interleague porn.
Yeah, that's right. Interleague porn is really good.
For someone who plays for one team and someone who plays for another team get it on together.
The BBCs and the BBWs, the baseball cocks and the baseball women.
Yep. The interleague videos of those are the best.
The interleague baseball cocks.
I also sometimes like watching the amateur training videos.
You know, something. You know, we I'm not going to do a full on AV club because I don't think it's quite. But we actually need to get into a very specific thing. Speaking of watching stuff, you had a nice little housewarming party recently, and it was great. I do have
Thank
to
you
say,
for coming.
It was a hell of a time. We had a blast, and but before I showed up a little early so we could hang out and chit chat and watch a movie and stuff. And we went to one of the few, or I should say, one of the many amazing YouTube channels out there. But this is like one of kind of a group of similar ones we've even shouted out on the podcast. We've shouted out Occult Demon Cassette before, which has a bunch of weird like old like Satanist scare videos and religious stuff on it.
Adult demon or occult.
Yes,
demon cassette.
Occult demon cassette.
Fucking amazing.
But this one is from a related one. It seems like it's part of the same group, and it's UFO Cult VHS. And there was a still for a movie neither of us had ever even heard of called Meet the Hollowheads. And Scott, you know how profoundly this changed my life. This movie changed me as a human being.
Yeah, you literally said that like 9 times
during the movie and after, because afterwards I had a chance to sleep on it the next day. You had a great party and everything. There was people spinning fire and badminton with LED lights and crazy good food and all this great stuff and a 500-pound poutine. And the only thing I could think of the next day was, what the fuck did I watch last night? So I just wanted to give a shout out to that movie because you can find it online for free at UFO Cult VHS. First of all, you should check that, subscribe to that channel anyway because they're really cool. We haven't even mentioned the actual Lost at Home channel. We're just like telling people to go other people. We have a YouTube channel too. But all I can say, this movie was maybe the most batshit crazy movie I've ever seen. Nothing really happened, but it was full of life, and it's the most surreal thing ever. It stars a young, I think 16 or 17-year-old...
17-year-old Juliette Lewis.
And Bobcat Goldthwait makes a appearance later in the film.
He's a cop.
Yes, he comes in as a cop, but he's not. It's when he's not quite doing the full squirrely voice. He's not like this yet.
Oh yeah, no, he's actually speaking like he normally does. Yeah,
and I don't.
It also had a bunch of other great character actors that we were recognizing, looking up. One of them was from Gremlins 2.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, no, it was just
bizarre.
So strange.
And there was nothing more to say about it except for, and this is fallout of our normal web droppings because we don't need to create more content about it. It just changed my life so much that I would feel remiss if we did not put this out to our listeners to be just... I urge you, if you like weird stuff, to go check this out.
That's AV Club for this week. Yeah, find Meet the Hollowheads, and you can find it on on
UFO Cult VHS.
UFO Cult VHS, as opposed to Occult Demon Cassette,
which is also awesome as well. So, anyway, I just needed to mention that because it changed my life. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty much one of the best things I've seen that I didn't expect to be good.
No.
Let me back up. It's not good.
It's not good, but it's also like well made.
They spent 30 minutes trying to kill a man.
Yes.
At one point in the movie.
And I'm not going to say if they succeeded or failed and what happens to said man. But there's also a very clearly phallic tentacle that comes out of a washing machine type exit hole.
Everything in the movie is tubes and tentacles.
Oh, it's all about tubes. It's for some reason somebody had a tube fetish and made a movie
tubes and tentacles. Our pet was tentacles. They eat tentacles. They eat tubular food.
And this was definitely, it was 1989. A lot of groping.
Oh, you mean like the extended scene where the boss is trying to rape the wife?
Yeah, and the
husband is lost in thought and doesn't notice
because he cares so much about his promotion. He's like, "Just go with it, babe," or something like. It's fucking bizarre. Watch it. It's amazing. If you do, shout us out on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, which you don't have the addresses for, so fuck you. Twitter, just look up Lost at Home everywhere. It will be fine. Anyway, that was the alarm to say that it's time for web droppings.
Web dropping 2.0.
All right, Jer, I think one of us brought the first story to the table.
You typed in
the title, and I added the link. We worked together in the weirdest
what happened
of ways.
Is, in Fenway last night, somebody read or told me about this like story just like in passing that it had popped up, and they didn't know any details. So I just typed in, so it would be a reminder to look it up: Bigfoot porn, Virginia Congress race. And then you added a link, and I found like 3 or 4 links.
Oh, yeah. But what I love is that you and I, and if you're an old-time listener of the show, if you've been listening since day one, you know we've done some deep dives into weird erotica, especially this kind of stuff you can find on Amazon, and especially the stuff you can find on, what's the service that Amazon does where they read the books to you? Audible.
Yes.
There's a lot of weird Bigfoot erotica, for instance. A lot of it. And
it's a real thing. Yeah.
It's not hard to find. Literally, if you type Bigfoot into a search engine, I swear, within a page, you will find Bigfoot erotica as a search topic.
I'm pretty sure it might be the first drop-down autocomplete suggestion from Google, actually.
Which is exactly why this story is so interesting.
It's probably Bigfoot real? Bigfoot erotica?
Well, a Democratic candidate from Virginia tweeted an image of a beast taken from an Instagram account of her rival.
Yes.
Who is a Republican.
Yes, a Republican rival.
And this Republican rival basically posted a picture that looks hand-drawn-ish.
It looks like a very Bigfoot. Poorly drawn, hand-drawn. Like, he definitely drew this himself.
Oh, probably. Yeah. With a Bigfoot, with a dick as long as his knees, with a big censored line through it.
So I don't know if it's actually, he drew it and then put the censored thing on it.
It's a tiny dick. The censored line is supposed to make it look bigger.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I love, I want to mention, first of all, the Democrat is Leslie Coburn, of course it's spelled Cockburn, but the Republican is Denver Riggleman, which sounds like if I were to make this story up, I would make that name up. Like Denver Riggleman, Bigfoot porn enthusiast, connoisseur, if you will. So she's trying to use this sort of as like attack.
Yeah, she's trying to say, like, what's he doing posting these pictures of a naked Bigfoot with a long dick and a censored bar?
Yeah.
Before we get further in the story, 2 ways to make your dick look bigger, guys. Shave your pubic region, get rid of all that hair, makes your dick stand out, makes it look a little more prominent. Also, just take a photograph of yourself and put an extra long censor bar over it. Or like the pixelated bar or something, something that makes it look like the censored area bigger than your actual dick.
You're going to have some splaining to do when, you get somebody home and they take a look at your penis and they realize it's not as big as that censored area.
Yes. Now, you might think, like, oh my god, what the fuck, who cares if this Democrat is angry at this Republican for posting a nude-ish picture of Bigfoot on his account? The tweet where he posted this picture says, cover art for hashtag mating habits of Bigfoot almost complete.
Which tells me, yes, he did draw this, and 2, it is for, I'm guessing, a nice little fanfic erotica.
It is for an erotic fanfic.
Called Mating Habits of Bigfoot.
And he goes, I hide nothing in this magnificent tome. Don't erase the censor box. You don't want to see what's under it.
No, you don't want to see what's under that. Bigfoot's giant cock. Here's the thing about this, is I was actually surprised that this is a Democrat. Granted, it's in Virginia, and I know like sometimes they're centrist Democrats, if not right-leaning. In order to get elected, they kind of have to be. But I was actually surprised this was a Democrat essentially like fetish shaming somebody. And not only was I actually kind of disappointed at that, because I would expect like closed-minded Republican, stereotypical closed-minded
to
Republican.
attack someone for their sexuality.
Yeah. But this was a Democrat. It's supposed to be progressive thinking. The other thing is Denver Riggleman apparently also has ties to white supremacists. That's like a side note, and the thing you want to jump on is like, obviously it's the story, and you can probably affect their chances because they're of their Republican base, not quite knowing what to think of Bigfoot porn. But it's just and we're not the only ones, or I'm not the only one at least, who took an issue with this, is because our favorite of the show is Chuck Tingle, who we've actually done readings for and stuff. He actually tweeted about this and actually called her out on fetish shaming somebody, pretty much saying, shame on you for fetish shaming somebody, because it doesn't matter what you're into. That shouldn't, and because she's like, is this the type of person we want to govern? I'm like, creative, like this guy. I don't give a shit what they do with their spare time. The white supremacist thing, that might impact it, but
now to pull this to the other side of the aisle, if you will.
Okay.
We are fine with someone writing this kind of stuff. We're against fetish shaming.
Yes.
What we're not okay with is someone then denying that he's writing erotica. The Republican immediately upon seeing these tweets was like, no, this is an old thing that me and a bunch of buddies, we've been joking about for years, and I'm just doing it as like an ongoing joke.
Well, here's the thing, it's like he
don't back down from it.
It might not be a fetish of his, though. I mean, we've written hilarious, I would say, erotic fanfic as well.
No, and
it's not my fetish to watch Luigi incest fuck Mario, but I recorded it.
And if this is literally an ongoing joke with his friends where he's like, I'm writing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Then just own it and
just... Like, do you want a creative individual who can think outside the box to govern? I think you do. Oh, also, don't look into that white supremacist stuff.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oopsie daisy.
I don't like that he was like trying to backpedal it away from what it was, but if he's not lying, then my God, he has every single right to do this weird shit. But he also needs to understand, as an elected representative, all the weird shit you do in private, once not made private anymore, it's up to the voter to then be like, is this weird enough for me to not vote for you?
Because that's at the end of the day, you are going to be subject to the court of public opinion when you're running for office.
Exactly.
And whether it goes against my beliefs or whatever of people fetish shaming somebody or for instance, voting somebody out of office for ridiculous tweets.
That's why I can never be governor, because of my erotic fanfiction on Amazon, The Court of Pubic Opinion.
Yes, that's right. Which was actually a very well-written thesis that you just literally left a fucking letter out, and then the next thing you know, they jump all over you for it. Granted, it was about the pubic region.
It was about writing erotica and being judged for it in the public, and how I hate everyone who doesn't like erotica.
But the Court of Pubic Opinion was well written. It was
I believe I said researched. If you're too much of a prude to read Loch Ness erotica, you probably shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Loch Ness erotica, because one of the things, Scott, that I shared a note with you right before you came, so you may not have seen it, but I actually think for Halloween month, with the exception of last year where we were too busy, we usually record a little piece, and a lot of it is erotic fanfiction based. I was going to posit to you doing an erotic fanfic, a cryptid based erotic fanfiction where you have essentially an orgy of epic proportions between Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, stuff, Yeti. I was thinking it could be like an incest porn thing. Yeti and Bigfoot are brothers. And
I already have ideas.
Okay, because I started a note. So that's possible empty promise, but we've been trying to think of what to do for the Halloween month. The only way we can make it actually happen is we need to start essentially now. So.
All right, can it be themed around Monster Squad?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Okay,
perfect. So all right, sweet. So and actually, as we get closer, a lot of times on the Patreon extra content, we'll actually record some of our brainstorming sessions before we actually record it. So as we get closer, we'll
as extra Patreon content. Those are only fun if you're into writing, because you're literally sitting in a writer's room with us and sometimes friends.
Yeah, to see kind of how the
brainstorm.
sausage is made, the Bigfoot sausage.
Yeah, and I actually have a couple of friends who've asked to be on the show recently, and that might be a perfect introduction for them, rather than jumping them on mics when we don't know the dynamic.
Yes,
it might be kind of fun to do a writer's room where we try out a third host who could maybe sometime come on for a regular episode.
Yeah, the good
once.
thing is if it doesn't work with the recording, we don't use it. Boom. And if it's going to an audition
we kick them in the face and say, you are bad at talking.
You're terrible. Into the dungeon with you. And then I torture them for years and lie to their family about where they went, like I'm a fucking modern day H.H. Holmes. I finished a book recently about H.H. Holmes. It was great. Anyway.
What happened in it?
He won.
Nice. I love books where he wins.
Yeah, alternate history. It was one of those.
Specifically where he wins. I like any book where H.H. Holmes is in the book.
And he wins. Yes. Like when the whole H.H. Holmes goes to Vegas, that was a good one. He wins a lot there. He goes, come on, sugar, give me daddy needs a new pair of shoes, because the ones I took off that woman's feet and chopped off and buried in my yard, I can't find anymore, so daddy really needs a new pair of shoes. H.H. Holmes jokes. They're not dated.
Speaking of shoes, that time he was actually inserted into the original Little Mermaid transcript, and he's like, I don't like she doesn't have feet, but you know what? I'm gonna fuck that fish anyway. Oh shit, she getting dry. She got feet now. Oh, this is new. I don't know what to do about this.
Oh damn, my dick shriveling like a sardine at a Taylor Swift concert. That's a bad.
My dick is shriveling like a sardine at a Taylor Swift concert.
Here's the thing: I don't know what you could possibly. You could reverse engineer that into something.
Yep.
Okay,
that is going into public record as we speak. I'm adding it to my grocery list because that's the note that opened first.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, excuse me, sir, could you help me find a sardine shriveling? A dick shriveling like a sardine at a Taylor Swift concert. I don't know what it means, but I feel like we can reverse engineer that to make it sound like it was something funny and that I meant something. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much the whole thing on the Bigfoot Congress Virginia race, whatever.
Sorry, I had an autocorrect. It ended up saying, my duck is shriveling like a sardine at a Taylor Swift concert.
It's just run into a grocery store, scream that, and then walk out.
My duck is shriveling.
Help me! My duck is shriveling like a sardine at a Taylor Swift concert. Run back out. And that's it.
Hop into a car and peel out while blaring Taylor Swift.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. We got a couple new pieces of content already out of it because we're gonna do some Bigfoot erotic fanfic. Another Patreon promise that I'm gonna work on getting up is I was able to track down a political attack ad that's never aired and that probably won't air from another of Denver Riggleman's. I can't remember if it's his rival or if it's one of his ads. But anyway, because I haven't actually listened to it much, but I have uncovered that we at Lost and Home have done the research.
It didn't air? No one could tell who's being attacked in it.
Yeah, that's why they're like there's some issues.
Mr. Riggle can't even vote, but he passed legislation that saved millions. Wait.
Am I supposed to be angry at him, or
yeah? I mean, he can't vote? Is he illiterate? Like, can he not vote for illegal? But
another thing.
Yeah, that would be a great attack ad where it just it says a low point and a high point.
In the question, there's somebody actually asking questions like, "Wait a minute, what am I?" And another thing.
Mr. Riggle once killed a 4-year-old, but his tax plan saved every school in the state.
Would you trade one 4-year-old for every child in the state? Well, Denver Riggleman thought he could. Wait, I also don't know if this is good or bad.
Exactly.
This is an ethical middle ground that I can't get past.
Mr. Riggleman once drowned 9 puppies in a burlap sack in the bottom of his bathtub. Later that day, he saved a bus with 19 nuns who each went on to save 19 buses with kids in them.
And more puppies. He's responsible for the death of 9 puppies and the life of thousands of puppies. Well, wait, and another thing.
Riggleman once went to Australia and found a rare species of ostrich. He fucked it to death, but then he saw it had a clutch of eggs. He raised them to fruition, and through interbreeding and selective nature, that species is now flourishing.
And I definitely want to then show, this needs to be a visual ad, because then I need to show him just sitting on a clutch of eggs waiting for them to hatch.
Yeah.
Like, as it pans slowly across the screen. And another,
But I like the ambiguous campaign ad where it's like, well, I guess
I don't know.
Fuck that one thing up, and then you kind of just saved a species.
I don't know if I'm going to vote for them, and it doesn't say if anybody approves this message. Nobody approves this message. And, so we got some good content.
Riggleman once hung a black kid from a fence post. Later on, he supported Barack Obama. Well, that one's a little more. I feel like that way. He's a murderer.
But he hung the guy from the fence because there was scorpions on the ground and he didn't want him to get bit. So he needed to get him off the ground and suspended him, and the kid went on to become Barack Obama. For Halloween once.
I am the doctor who was there that day. The little boy who was scared of scorpions, who did not want to die, had no arms, shoulders, or hips. The only way to hang a boy who does not have shoulders, arms, or hips is by the neck.
Another thing. Wait, no, go back to that one. I'm processing this.
And why were there scorpions? He's from Georgia.
Where is he going? You know those classic Virginia scorpions.
Or Virginia, yeah.
So we've got some good ideas.
Okay, so new content for that story pretty well.
So you removed. We got an Uber story.
We have an Uber story.
I took a Lyft this recently.
I've never been in a Lyft.
Lyfts are.
Do they have the pink mustaches? Is that Lyft?
Well, they used to. They rebranded. They don't do that anymore. But
is there like this garbage island of pink mustaches?
And they're fucking going up turtles' noses. That's the next viral video of someone pulling a pink mustache out of a turtle's nose. I thought he looked trendy, but. And another thing, I don't know if I should feel angry about that. No, it was where
I read the headline and it was literally Uber vomit fraud.
And I wasn't sure.
I thought people were defrauding Uber.
That's exactly what I thought. I was going to ask you what you thought when you read
Uber all the time.
Yeah. Well, no, because I assumed like people were saying,
yeah, they don't ever rape their passengers. That's the other way around.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's spin this Fox News style. Another Uber driver raped by his passenger.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, honestly, I thought when I said vomit fraud against its drivers, I thought they meant, people were essentially probably getting in the car and then declining to actually make a payment or refuting it because there's vomit in the back seat or somebody vomited.
I sat in some vomit. This isn't mine. I know where mine is. It's in the toilet of the restaurant that I ate at earlier when I had escargot.
Good catch. That was a good recovery. That was a good recovery.
That was the save of the century. For the listener who doesn't know why we're crying laughing, just go back 10 seconds.
Just 10 seconds.
I fucked up, but I saved
But you saved it. You came in at the end because I was about to call you on it too, and I'm like, let's see where he takes this. This could just be the character. Oh, it's the character, but it's not intentional.
It was just quick thinking on my feet.
That's how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, no, because I wasn't aware that Uber has they can charge you cleaning costs if you fuck up their car.
I did not know that either.
So
because I've never fucked up an Uber. Guess what I do when I get in them?
I
wait impatiently while listening to their bad music because I don't want to tell them to change it because they're going to give me a lower star rating.
Well, here's what.
Do you like this music? Well, yeah, it's my favorite. I actually went to prom to slow dance this song.
Yeah, it was either this or November Rain. We chose by the.
Sorry, I've traveled internationally a lot, and I've heard internationally.
I'm okay with
I've
music.
been in the South.
You've been to Florida,
and the Bahamas, and Montreal.
That's like a foreign country.
All right, Bahamas, Montreal, and the Deep South.
Okay.
I gotta say, the music is not exactly up to my standards, but I don't want to get a low star rating from an Uber driver because when I vacation, I care about my star rating.
Also doesn't matter
because they won't pick you up if you have a low star rating.
I also like a lot of different music, so I'm fine if I get it and it's something different than I usually listen to. But apparently, it can cost from $80 to $150 for this cleaning fee. And here's the thing: is you didn't know that because you've never, fucked up an Uber like you said. But a lot of these people never did either, according to their claims. And what happened is the Uber drivers instead were saying, because it's very plausible when you pick somebody up at 2 a.m. that they are drunk and that you can just say, they puked in my car and they now owe me $80, and they have to refute it.
They have to send photographic proof of these pukings, these vomitings, these regurgitations to the head company to prove the claim.
Yes.
So what people are wondering is, are they reusing pictures of puke from an actual incident, or are they actually carrying vomit in Ziploc bags, dumping it on their own seats, taking a picture, and then cleaning it real quick?
Just want to see the Uber driver clearly just has a bag of vomit hanging from the rear view mirror. It's like
dice.
Sir, what's that? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Just Uber driver was fine except for vomit hanging from rear view. Did not trust 3 stars.
So basically the idea here is if you're using Uber and say you're doing a late night travel and you have been drinking, check your bill almost immediately because this charge goes up within 24 hours and you can dispute it, but a lot of people don't even notice and let it go through their accounts, so they're just losing money.
Yep.
Also, we're shitting on Uber, and we've shat on Uber pretty much for 224 episodes, although they haven't been around for that long.
Yeah, probably not.
Uber does have a great program where upwards of, I think, 5,000 drivers right now are hearing impaired. And if you ever get into an Uber, and the driver lets you know with a card or broken English that he's a hearing impaired driver. He or she. Make sure to ask them how to text with them because they'll usually flash a number that you can give instructions and driving tips to. Or even if you're just like, traffic's bad, I'll get out here.
So you're not just shouting like a dick in the backseat.
Yeah.
Hey!
Every hearing impaired Uber driver knows to do this upon request and will help you and be very courteous. Uber, for all its bad press, has actually done a really great thing by employing more hearing impaired people than most other industries, which
is a very nice thing. And then you can also you can also text them, please don't rape me, and that will work as well.
I can't hit you.
You built yourself up to be this good person for and it took one bad impression to fucking ruin every good thing you just said. You're correct. You're correct. Yes,
you literally get an hour of me a week. Kelly lives with me 24/7.
I don't know why.
I hear her crying in the shower sometimes. And
why did I do this? Why did I do this?
Yeah.
So I don't know what do we create out of Uber vomit fraud? What do we get here? I mean, I guess
this
there
is going to
could
be cash cap.
Yes, exactly.
It's got to be cash
or
cap.
like taxi cab confessions, like Uber confessions or something like that.
Uber confession.
And it's just like a projectile vomiting person be like, it's not mine.
No, prank show. MTV's You've Been Ubered.
Yeah, okay. And then
so someone like gets out of the car, and then they throw a bag of puke in the seat, and then they laugh into the camera, and then bill them into the camera, and it just ends.
They've been Ubered. Yeah.
They've been Ubered.
This week it's vomit. Next week it's groping. You never know who's gonna Uber you. You've been Ubered.
Yeah. Cameras in the front, facing back. I don't think this is the street that I live on. Well, we're almost there. Where? I don't live under a train trestle. Well, oh, look, my car's like gas. No, it's not. It's a digital display. It's very clear. They got 9 out of 10 bars.
Yeah.
Well, the battery's dead.
Yeah.
The lights are on. Well, I'm gonna rape you.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, and then it cuts, and it's like after 5 minutes of raping. Wow, you bet you want to go home now, huh? Oh. And then you just hear sobbing in the background, and then it cuts to like a laugh track.
Yeah, you gotta have the laugh track to let people know it's supposed to be a joke.
Yep.
You go, just kidding. We'd never do that.
That's it. That's how Uber gets away with it now. They do this show, and then there's a just kidding.
Yeah, because you can always fix a terrible, terrible dark tale with just kidding at the end. It said in Dave Coulier's voice. Cut it out.
You raped me. Well, are you going to report it? Probably. Well, I'm going to give you a 1-star rating if you do. Oh.
Yeah?
Maybe not.
Bitch puke.
Kind of rely on Uber. It's how everyone gets around the city.
Fucker puked in my car. 1 star. And then, I'd say, okay.
Girl raped on my cock. 1 star.
Yep. Oh, boy. I should probably put some canned laughter in there.
You probably should. I think it's the only thing that'll save me from going to hell at this point.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about hell.
You know I don't.
You're gonna get fired from Disney if you don't watch out.
You know I don't care.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know you don't care.
These are jokes. We are comedians.
No, it's funny. I thought my joke of when you was going to be bad, and then you took it to a level where I was like, okay, this is gonna, because mine was going to be like, I don't live under an old train trestle. It's like, yeah, you don't live in 9 different plastic bags either, but that ain't gonna stop me.
I like that. I like that. That was actually pretty good. I kind of glossed over it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a chance to say it because you went straight for the R. Oh, with a laugh track. We're funny here.
There are going to be laugh tracks in this, right? It's just not going to make me sound like a monster.
I think I might actually have to do that to maybe make it sound like you're not a monster. So I'm going to make a timestamp there and maybe save you, or it's gonna backfire terribly.
And I still hope they keep happening, like even up to this point.
Speaking of orgies,
I don't want to sound like a monster.
Okay.
Once again, like that could just be an awkward long pause.
A lot of times it depends on how into editing I really want to get. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I was supposed to do that, and I don't bother, or I miss one. So but yeah, I'll put that down. So
let's do that. So Uber, good company, bad company.
Yeah. Yeah, they do some good things and some bad things. Kind of like Facebook and all those other fucking
I guess
companies.
The end part of the story is make sure to check your bill when you leave an Uber to make sure you don't get any weird charges, because it can happen. And a lot of us with this technological age, well, when they're done with an Uber, just put your phone in your pocket and walk off, and you won't even look again. And if you're on vacation, you're probably racking up all kinds of expenses, like hit this bar, hit this restaurant, take this Uber. You may not notice in this flurry of bank transactions that there's an extra fee tucked in there.
I've traveled like in the city for work and stuff, and that all just goes my work card, so I don't give a shit. And there are a lot of them are $30, $40 Uber rides, like all over the place. I might not notice if all of a sudden I probably would eventually, because I'd have to do my expenses and be like, why is there a $120 charge? But I might not notice like a $60 charge because like, oh, that was probably just a long trip I took. Boom.
Yeah. I also use burner emails to create new Uber accounts and just keep using
you can get the
first
free code,
ride thing.
Yeah, the free code thing.
Yeah, I keep using the first free ride thing over and over and over. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, you can get some...
I basically have almost never paid for an expensive Uber, except in the Bahamas once. I didn't know what Uber Black was.
Oh, yeah, those were the sedans, yeah.
They sent us this was in 2016, they sent us a 2017 Denali.
Yeah, those are like...
And I'm I sat in this car and I felt poor for touching it.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is I think they're like the base charge is like $60, and then...
it was like $110 for rides to the airport.
Yeah.
And I was in a Denali. I was like...
It's fine. If you have to do it once...
Our driver was a very large black man with a full three-piece suit with a Rolex on.
That's fucking cool.
I was just like... I feel like I'm in Kanye's escort service. Like we're gonna just pull up and
me, Scott Bear, whoop-a-doo.
No. Kanye's escort service. Like they're picking me up just so I can go below Kanye.
Okay, I was wondering which escort service.
Like he's gonna hop in the car and somebody be like, "Yeah, what you doing here, white boy?
Yeah, that's right. Huh?
You enjoy the Bahamas like those palm trees? Want to see my trees?"
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I like smoking weed. He's like, that's a fucking dick reference.
That's a dick reference. So you get it? No, you couldn't possibly keep up with my mind.
No, you're gonna be on my monster.
I'm my generation
monster.
Generation genius.
We both have really bad Kanye impressions.
I'd have to work on one a little bit. I think I could get it. He's a very distinct voice. Yeah,
I always think about him saying that word in that song. He really throws it.
It's a nasty monster.
All right, midway through the show, I think we should real quick shout out some social media stuff.
Sure.
If you're enjoying this show and you want to follow us on other formats, make sure to hit up Twitter at The Lost at Home. And if you want to find our personal accounts, I am at Tears for Candy. Jer is at Sonic Jalopy. If you want to go to Facebook, that is where we carry most of the off-air discussion on. There is a Facebook group and a Facebook page. Like the page if you want, but join the group. It's a private group because we talk like we do on air.
And it is fun to see people interact. Sometimes a poll pops up. You get to see what the other listeners are talking about.
We do questions of the week sometimes.
A lot of good interaction. People have become friends through the page that didn't know each other otherwise. Virtual friends, but friends nonetheless. That's how people are friends in 2018. So.
And it's a good community. So besides that, also hit up patreon.com/lostandhome and you get extra content.
We got a bunch of it in the works.
YouTube.
Yeah,
just Lost Home Podcast.
If you just look up Lost Home Podcast on YouTube, you'll find it. So
getting that out of the way, just to make sure people are on the same page as us and finding us everywhere you could find us. There's one place you can't find us because I don't see any reason to be on Grindr. We really don't. I like Grindr. It's cool that it exists for people who are gay and want to find other gay people to.
It's actually it's a very ingenious app. Actually,
yeah, it's Tinder. It's fucking and sucking.
But it's just I'll even like, this person's close by, so I can actually see why people would use it. Maybe attempt to use it for other purposes, being like, hey, anybody nearby want to come to a party, something like that. Unfortunately, Grindr does have a very specific reputation where people assume if they're seeing something on Grindr, it's probably sexual by nature.
It's because it's a lot of it.
Yes, exactly. So this actually surprised a man from North Carolina who had a Grindr account, but he was just trying to throw a barbecue.
Yeah, he wanted to have an all-inclusive barbecue where anyone, gay, straight, bi, or what was this other term he used? Unknown.
Oh, I love. Yeah,
it was the unknown.
This party's open to men, women, families, gay, straight, bi, and the unknown.
Yeah.
So
I think that's I gotta say, in this day and age where we did a episode about, 60 episodes ago where we talked about all the weird new terminology. And I don't say weird because it's not commonplace. Most people don't know these terms.
Weird not in like a negative connotation of like, they shouldn't be around. Just be like, it's new to us.
And it's new to a lot of people. Yes. And we went through all those terms, and some we agreed with, some we didn't, some we thought were a little much.
And I've heard, because it ended up extending so much, that a lot of people have gone back to LGBT+, which is like
one person actually responded to this within the story and said, the plus equals unknown. Kind of brilliant.
Yeah, the unknown is probably the coolest way of describing the plus in LGBT+. Yeah, which is true. Yeah,
I like that they actually added the plus to LGBT because I got personally offended when they started adding more and more and more letters to it. I'm like, number one, you're destroying an acronym. You're destroying it.
That's not how acronyms are supposed to work, Yeah. So I understand why you want to be inclusive, but at some point you do have to be like, well, if we did that and you want to be so inclusive, it's going to be 1,400 letters.
Oh yeah, no, they got to a point where it's LGBTQZL97
and it's all well and good if somebody wants to use that, but to expect other people to be able to like rattle that off, because people sometimes would get offended if you didn't add the Q at the end. So I was using LGBTQ for a while. But the plus makes it you get to feel like you're being inclusive without also feeling like you've got to memorize a 1,400 character acronym.
If you're a listener and you are gay and you use your mobile phone to talk to people and use code, I'm curious, is underscore and dash top and bottom as code? Because if it isn't,
that could totally work. Yeah.
It should be like RUA, and it's like a dash or an underscore.
Big dash or underscore. They could also use a caret symbol, the little pointy arrow that points up. That could be a top. Cause that actually,
the up and down.
Because that usually posts to top. That's like the shift 6, I believe is.
I'm mildly curious because I dig internet culture. We both grew up in that weird we grew up in the Twilight.
You're symbol curious.
Well, okay, sure. Yeah. I like your verbiage.
Yeah.
But we both grew up in that weird, and we spoke about this probably 40 episodes ago, that Twilight where we grew up with no technology except for like VHS players.
Yeah, and we're essentially the Star Wars generation, the Xennials they called us, because true millennials are like more toward the mid to late 80s.
Millennials have grown up with internet their whole life.
Yes, generally they're used to. They may have been born when there really was an internet, but they grew up and came of age when like you just got online.
And Gen Xers, no. Gen Y had some internet.
Well, Gen
X had very little internet.
I think Gen X was right before the millennial Gen Y / whatever. So
Y was just before millennial. There were some like micro generations.
Well, that's where we're Xennials, yeah.
So we're technically, it's hard to describe, but we're technically pre-millennial because we definitely are.
Oh yeah, okay.
But we're also technically pre-Gen X.
Millennials are technically Generation Y. They just didn't ever call it Generation Y. Mostly, once millennial
it was
came
Generation
out,
Y when you and I were in high school.
Exactly. And then because it followed X, and then people started calling millennials because it made sense to tour. But millennials are relatively.
But I thought you and I were Gen Xers, and technically we're Gen. What is it again?
We're technically Xennials. That's why they were calling us, which is a way of saying we. And that's they say that between 77 and 83, they say is a micro generation because of the way that we lived. They also call it the Star Wars generation because those are the years that the Star Wars came out.
Yeah. So no, we grew up loving Star Wars, and we grew up completely having zero internet, zero technology.
No internet, no like just home computers ready to go.
Nothing.
No, let alone mobile phones.
VHS player was probably the best thing we had.
I remember like cordless phones was like the closest you got to anything where you might be able to bring a cordless phone into your room to talk to a friend with one phone line, and if you wanted to get on the internet,
share it,
even in the 90s when we got it, we're just talking about it like, yeah, we're old, and we had the Nintendo, which is still the NES is still the best system ever, but. Super NES pretty close.
Yeah, I don't talk to that about our age, saying we're old. We're just literally from a very niche period of time where we're one of the few people. There's 4 years of people, maybe 5, that literally grew up learning computers and learning the internet as it appeared organically.
Yes.
And
so we weren't like all confused by this newfound technology or anything.
And
like
also
that.
still vividly remember and spent most of our or not most, I'd say at this point a quarter of our lives having zero technology.
Well, and I that's why I actually love I really love the shows like Stranger Things and stuff because it does bring me back to that time of like just riding a bike around and your parents are like, yeah, I trust that they know where they're going. Yeah, it's not like they could call you on your cell phone, track you. They're like, yeah, might be getting murdered somewhere, but we can always make another baby.
Yeah, my parents got scared because my friend who lived up the street from me, and when I say up the street, we were 5 miles out of the closest town.
Yep.
At the top of a mountain. We were the only 2 houses on our street, and there wasn't another house for maybe 10 miles in one direction, and I think a mile in the next direction.
Yeah.
Middle of winter, I decided to walk to my friend's house, and when we met halfway while walking, we decided to cut through the woods during a massive snowstorm and rough it back, like do woods trails. It took us like an hour and a half to do what should have been a 10-minute walk. And our parents, both sides, got scared shitless.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Because you're just like, do we go look for them or what? Well, have you, speaking of like nostalgic type stuff, have you actually seen this more AV Club style, but the preview for that movie, Summer of '84? It's on the circuit scene right now.
Nope.
It's a horror movie retro style, takes place in summer '84. Looks really good, but it's done by the same people who did Turbo Kid, which I know is a fan.
Oh my god, I'm down.
So it's on the festival scene, getting a lot of
Turbo
really good
Kid
stuff.
is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Getting a lot of really good press. So.
Oh yeah, so this barbecue that's not an orgy ended up being a bunch of people who were already invited, and 2 people who finally accepted the Grindr invitation after a lot of worldwide goodwill. The 2 people who did go said it was an amazing event. Everyone was awesome. Everyone was fun.
He just wanted a barbecue.
And the guy just wanted a barbecue. And he said next year he's going to do the same thing again because of the notoriety plan on a bigger barbecue.
Well, and the thing I like about it is the whole point was he was like, I'm going to use technology to actually bring people together physically in the real world just for like a hangout and a party because people don't really interact that way as much anymore. If they do, it's for fucking or something like that with Tinder and Grindr. So like, let's use this technology to actually bring people together for just good to actually meet each other and have a good time. Not necessarily for an orgy. What happens after? Who knows?
Now, Jer,
yes.
We're going to end this show with one last story.
Yes.
I don't really want to get into the details of the story because it's pretty basic. I'm going to read the title. Hollywood is currently making 7 different Robin Hood movies at once.
Yes, and I don't know. You've got a game coming up.
I have a game that I want to play.
If I rattle off just really quickly a couple of the titles and the
go right ahead. I wouldn't mind.
So one of the big ones is just Robin Hood, which is more like a gritty reboot.
No way. There's been one of those before.
Well, there's been 3 good Robin Hood movies already. There's the Disney one. There's the Robin Hood and the Robin Hood.
You mean
Men
the
in
one with
Tights.
the fox?
Yes, I like that movie.
Me too.
As a kid, anyway.
So Robin Hood Men in Tights, number 2.
And then the actual
Kevin Costner one.
So there's also one called Hood from Sony that's supposed to be like Mission Impossible. That would set off a Robin Hood cinematic universe because everybody needs a fucking cinematic universe nowadays.
I am listening to you, but I want to make you pause for 1 second.
Sure.
I'm pausing because I remember in grade school we were forced to in music class sing the song from Robin Hood. What was that song?
I don't know. I mean,
okay, in my head, I automatically replaced it with Seal's "Kiss from a Rose in a Face."
You mean
the Kevin Costner movie. There's that very famous song.
Everything I do it for you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that one. I would like to redub that scene where that song plays and they have the sweeping cameras with "Kissed by a Rose on the Face." You know,
of you singing it.
Oh, no. I think I'll just redub Seal, but...
Kiss
Kiss by a Rose on the Face is one of the best songs ever made.
We've played it here on the show at least once.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it.
I think we played it multiple
in my top 10 favorite songs ever.
Let me write that down. Okay. Anyway,
you were a shining tower on my face.
There's
baby.
Another one from Disney called Nottingham and Hood.
All of those words are wrong.
The one actually I am curious about is Margot Robbie supposedly is jumped aboard one called Marion, where Maid Marian is becomes a vigilante after Robin Hood is killed, which sounds kind of cool.
I want it to be Marianas, where Maid Marian has to dive to the bottom of the Marianas Trench to get the sword from the Lady of the Lake, who's dug in deep.
So they're really so the whole thing is just. Marion sounds like Marianas.
It's the abyss.
Okay.
It's the abyss.
Yes.
But she needs to get that sword for Arthur, but it's at the bottom of the Marianas Trench because the Lady of the Lake was like, fuck this shit. She went deep.
I think one of these is, it sounds really interesting. The most recent ones are reported ones are Robin Hood 2058, which is supposed to be a futuristic dystopian London. And supposedly it's being produced by the same folks that did 300. And then Robin Hood, Prince of Aragon, is apparently a vibrant punk pop retelling of the mythos. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell, all the fucking crazy movies in development about Robin Hood.
Now, I have 8 movies, because I want to do one better than Hollywood.
Okay.
I've written synopses for these. What you need to do...
Oh, good. This actually gets me close to my Patreon promise. I wasn't aware what this game is. My second Patreon promise is I was thinking we should make a movie trailer for our own Robin Hood at some point.
Pick one if you want.
Cool. All right, sweet.
All right, so these are based on real movies that exist.
Okay.
I have made clever titles, air quote clever. So listen to me describe this movie about Robin Hood, and then you figure out the new title it could have.
Okay.
I'll give you some leeway. For one of these, I wrote 2 titles, so I realized there's probably 2 pretty clear titles you could pick. But, all right, let's just start with number 1, and if we need clarification, we'll move on from there.
Take a drink while you're reading.
Robin Hood dispenses justice in the future by stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, until a corrupt system he's always trusted exiles him into a wasteland of Sherwood. Now he must clear his name and get back his job.
Oh boy. Let's go with Scarface in the Hood.
No.
No?
I can't help you any more than what I gave you, because I thought if I gave more details, I would totally give it away.
Wait, am I supposed to make up a title, or am I supposed to guess what
This
movie
is a real movie that I injected Robin Hood into.
I thought you were asking me to make new titles.
No, I have a title picked, and you need to guess it. And it's pretty... they're pretty blunt and clear.
That's fucking difficult. I can read your mind about what title you picked.
Let me read this one more time.
Sure, yeah.
Robin Hood dispenses justice in the future by stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, until a corrupt system he's always trusted exiles him into the wastelands of Sherwood. Now he must clear his name and get back his job.
Sherwood.
Judge Hood.
Okay. I'm not gonna guess any of these.
See what I did there? It's Judge Dredd, but it's Robin Hood.
But I don't know if I don't think you realize how difficult and impossible this game is gonna be, because you know these in your head.
If you get one, you get a high five on air.
Okay, cool. Everybody likes hearing those.
Robin Hood wants nothing more than to keep a woman from aborting her baby. I'm gonna give you a minute. This is fun for me.
Okay.
Robin Hood wants nothing more than to keep a woman from aborting her baby in favor of taking it and giving it to some poor person who can't have a baby. Thus begins the most famous court case in Sherwood Forest history. The title is...
I've got a fake title that would actually be a good porno.
This is based on a real title.
Yeah, so this is...
Most of them use either Robin or Hood.
I assume that. So I'm trying to think of... I was gonna say, boys. No, that would be a good one, but I just can't say that. I was gonna say Boys in the Robin Hood, but that's like a tough badass movie. I
almost did that one.
I got nothing. I was thinking of it goes porno for me, like boys. I mean, Robin in the clitoral hood or something.
Roe versus Hood.
Oh, so that's not even a movie. It's
the movie Roe versus Wade.
Oh, there is a movie called Roe versus Wade?
There's an upcoming one that comes out this summer, and one that already aired in 1989.
Sure, okay.
Next one.
That's definitely a movie I watched when I was 9.
Robin Hood is a dad whose daughter has been kidnapped by a rich human trafficker. He will use his certain set of skills to take her back from the rich man and give her back to her poor, grieving mother.
Well, that's Taken, right? But how would you make that into Robin Hood?
This one's cheating. I basically called it Taken from the Rich.
Okay.
But that was cheating. There's no hood or...
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't cheating. You just gave me some false information earlier. And said, but you didn't. You said most of them. That's
I said
not
most.
Yes,
I said
sure.
most.
There's no way I can get any of these.
Robin Hood is making a list of the poor in an effort to save as many as he can from extermination at the hands of the rich.
Also, these synopsises, like, you in your head, you're like, oh, it's clear that this is this movie. No, it's not.
Robin's List.
Okay.
Instead of Schindler's List.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He just gave up. He was like,
no, I'm
just
actually...
read your ideas.
Just read them, because this is not going to work out well.
Robin Hood is killed, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. He's then rebuilt, now more machine than man, and he's on a mission to fix the wrongs he couldn't right before when he was a mere man.
That's Robin Cop.
I had Robin Cop or Robo Hood.
I was going to say Robo Hood, but Robin Cop definitely has a better... Okay, I got one. High five.
All right, high five. I don't know if the mics picked that up, but
it didn't matter. We did it.
Number 6.
I'll put a blasting high five in
Number 6.
All right.
Robin Hood is caught by the rich after stealing from them to give to the poor, and now he must use his first-class archery skills to survive a battle royale and triumph to bring equality in this dystopic future pick.
Hood Games.
Ooh, that was my alternative. I had Robin Games.
Okay.
Either one works.
I think it's Ancient Hunger and Ancient Hood.
Yeah, you got 2 out of 6. Robin Hood, while working as a hip-hop dance instructor, falls in love with the daughter of a rich aristocrat at a summer resort he's working for in the summer. He's planning on robbing him to give to the poor and to his inner city community. The aristocrat's daughter is banned from seeing Robin Hood, but his love of dance will win over the day as he steals her heart and not her family's money.
Say Hood Loose.
Ooh, not bad.
It's. I don't think that's actually Footloose. It's probably Take It to the Streets or Step
That was
Up.
a movie about banning music.
Well, but yeah, Footloose
This
was
one's
about
about
dance.
a dance instructor who's forbidden to dance with a guy's daughter.
Okay, well, that's similar to Footloose, but like,
Can you think of a
Footloose
movie where a guy is forbidden from dancing with his rich?
Yeah, that's pretty much that's part of Footloose. Yeah,
Dirty Hood.
Yeah, okay.
Dirty dancing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I made this one a little urban. I'm thinking if these were actually real films, like he's a hip hop dance instructor.
Yeah.
So like these movies need to be real movies.
Well, that's why I was thinking it could be like Step It Up, Take It to the Streets, and then I was like, no, Footloose. But
All right, last one. You're
Hoodloose would work.
2 for 7. You're not going to win this game.
And bonus points for Hoodloose because that's a goddamn
That's
good
not
title.
bad.
That's a good title.
All right.
And how many fucking dance movies am I supposed to keep track of in my head to know that that's the synopsis for Dirty Dancing? Granted, it is one of my most watched movies of all time.
Fair enough. Last one. Robin Hood assembles a crew of 11 people. Wait. Let me reread this.
It's Robin's 11.
It is. Can I read my thing?
No, fuck you. I got it. No, I would like to hear it actually. But that clearly, that was an easy one.
Yeah.
So.
Robin Hood assembles a crew of 11 of Sherwood Forest best to pull off the best robbery of the rich in history. Together, with well-choreographed action sequences and deception, they manage to steal from the wealthy castle by the sea and take it back to the people, and a little bit on the side for themselves.
Yeah. Well,
Castle by the sea. Oceans.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't want to name the castle.
Yeah.
Although it's probably a castle.
Well, I mean, then you're like,
Nottingham Castle.
You're like, 11 people. I was like, that's Ocean's 11, clearly. Like
I didn't want them all to be asshole-ish, but apparently they all were.
Well, no. I got 3 of them.
You got
pretty
3.
good. And honestly, Hoodloose was pretty good. I think actually Hoodloose has a better ring to it.
I'd say 4 out of 8.
Then what did you say? Robin dancing? Or Dirty Hood?
Dirty Robin.
Dirty Hood, I think, is what
Dirty
you said.
Hood. Yeah, Dirty Hood.
This sounds like, gotta go do some laundry. Why? Got a Dirty Hood.
Well, it's an all-black cast about hip-hop dancing, so it's Dirty Hood.
Well, and I do think Boys in the Robin Hood would be pretty good, like about the struggles of the inner city, especially with some people falling into a gang. There's that shot of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother or something like that getting shot. Yeah. You remember Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
Good movie. It was a good movie.
Hey, well, thank you for playing the game with Jared.
Yes.
Sorry if it wasn't quite up to your
honestly,
expectations.
First of all, after I got used to how you were doing your synopsis was like you did a bunch of Robin Hood stuff, and then the last 2 lines were the actual synopsis of the movie I had to pay attention to. Once I realized that, I was like, I can ignore the first bunch of
always
shit.
Robin steals from the rich and gives to the poor. Also, robots.
And then here's the actual synopsis for a movie. So
I
once I listened to
rhythm.
that,
I did a rhythm.
Once I listened to that, I didn't have because otherwise I was trying to keep track of too much in my head. I was like, this is a long synopsis. How am I supposed to,
I made them all about 4
around this?
sentences.
Yeah. So I think even with that now, knowing that, at first I understood it as you wanted me to make up names for them, which is why it didn't make any sense at first. But I got it over time. So I think we can continue that at one point. And actually,
that's the end of the show.
The movie trailer actually that will be popping up at some point on Patreon is actually produced by our good friend Bruce. It's actually they missed one in this article. There's actually an Australian Robin Hood reboot in the makings with Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan playing the lead.
He's been dead for a while.
We have.
Did he get stung by a stingray?
What? No, that's Steve Irwin. First of all, multiple times on the show, we have asked, is Paul Hogan dead? To where, if I type is into my search engine, it starts with, is Paul Hogan dead?
I just assume he's dead. Like,
No, they're actually talking about doing another, it is, okay, is Paul Hogan...
That's not a do not resuscitate. This is a do not resuscitate.
No, he is, he's doing fine. He goes, I guess he's like almost 80. Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think he's dead.
No, he's almost 80. I mean, yes, he's been around for a while, but I mean, come on, we would have heard about Paul Hogan dying, even though we've asked it 3 times at least on the show.
I'm a little giddy inside about that's not a do not resuscitate.
Yes, I first of all, we need to make way more, as many Paul Hogan properties as possible before he does actually croak,
and try to get him on the show.
Sure. Oh.
Sorry, that was my iron lung. He like beats it. And
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
sometimes you gotta pour Foster's into it and get it back on.
I'm as young as I ever was.
Gears get a little dry without the Fosters.
Yeah. So but Bruce has been working on. I mean, he's gonna get a production credit because he sort of like greenlit the thing.
All right.
He's into movies.
Sounds
Sometime on Patreon, take a look for that and a bunch of this other stuff we've promised. In the meantime, otherwise,
if you're on the radio, we're probably cutting out on you right now.
Just kidding.
Well, maybe not. That might be perfect.
Get lost.
Get lost.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Kicking a crock in the bonza, making out with spiders that could kill ya. Stand today for a badass Aussie. Proudly display the Steve Owen tramp stamp on my body. That's not a penis, this is a penis. 12 inches serrated and filled with poison. Maybe they don't think that's attractive, but I fucked your girlfriend and infected a pussy with spiders. If you think you're tough, come on out to Sydney. If you're tough in Sydney, try your luck in Melbourne. If you're tough in Melbourne, try walking in and your mum getting raped by a wallaby. It's not nice, it's terrible actually. I wish I hadn't mentioned that. You'll edit that out, right, Jeremiah?
Yeah, sure. Just send me a text, remind me.
Okay, great, I'll do that, yeah?
Aussie, oi, we're more than just Dundee. Descend from a criminal grandpa and grampy. Kangaroo boomerang, prawn on the barbie.
People think we're an island infested with snakes, but America's a country that's run by snakes. I was told that if I said that, people would think I'm political, but I don't actually care about politics. I understand, though, that if you're all mad about things, so good on you, mate. I guess that's fine. But back to the first thing. We're actually a continent and a country and an island very infested with snakes. All poisonous, every single one. There are also too many spiders. I mean, even for people who like spiders, they're all like, well, that's too many. That's too many spiders there. And I try to tell them, I say, yeah, you're right.
Aussie, oi, we're more than just Dundee. Descend from a criminal grandma and grampy. Kangaroo boomerang, prawn on the barbie. Oi, Aussie, we're more than just Hogan. Sick of the stereotypes, they offend us. Crocodile, Vegemite, dingo, koala.
I watched Peter Jackson rape 14 children once. Not like I was watching like, hey, there's something neat. I mean, I saw it happen and then I called the police. But it happened so quick because not only is Peter Jackson a pedophile, but he's also a premature ejaculator, and it only took like less than a minute to fuck all 14 children. Now, I'm not an expert on kid fucking, nor do I wish to ever be, but I'd say even for a pedo standard, that's pretty fucking lame. I mean, he's not even good at being the best at the most shitty thing ever, you know? I mean, he molested all of the hobbits. I mean, Sean Astin, Elijah Wood, everybody. But seriously, my friends asked me to make this song as a joke, you know, I'm being a good sport, but seriously, we Australians are really fucking sick of hearing all these stereotypes that Jeremiah and Scott wrote for me. They'll probably edit this out, but Australians are a lot more than just a bunch of stereotypes, alright? First of all, did you know that the pacemaker was invented by an Australian? I fucking guarantee there are way more fat fucking Americans using that than any of us Australians. But all you want to talk about is Crocodile Dundee and Outback Steakhouse. That last one isn't even from Australia, you know that, right? It's from fucking Florida. Outback Steakhouse is as Australian as Fred Durst, you know? And the thing is, like, I love Jeremiah and Scott and everything, but they are, like, sometimes they just spread ignorance with their stereotypes.